Carly Cooper from carlycoopercoaching.com, where I teach you how to get shift done. And on today's episode of Get the Scoop, I want to talk about how to deal with indecision. We are faced with having to make decisions all the time, whether it's about how we raise our children, the relationships that we're in, the career that we choose, even within our daily lives, we're asked to make decisions. And sometimes that could be a real challenge because we're just not sure. And not making a decision is actually still making a decision because we're just deciding not to deal with it. So there are some reasons why we are indecisive, and I want to call them out right now because having the awareness and catching ourselves doing it is the first way that we can recognize it and then change it in a more positive way. So the first reason why we may be indecisive is because we're afraid to make a choice. We're afraid to decide. What are the consequences of the decision that we're going to make? And so many times our fears hold us back from doing what we believe in our hearts that we should do. So the first thing I want you to do is just to call out your fears. What is it that is stopping you from moving forward? And once you can name the fears, then play it out a little bit. Ask yourself, what would happen if my worst fear actually came true? And so often we play it as a bigger thing in our head, and it really never comes to pass. So a lot of the times our fear is just in our head, and really if we just call it out and we break it down and see that even if it does happen, we'll be able to deal with it, then you can move forward with deciding. The second reason why we become indecisive is because we should on ourselves. So I want you to stop shoulding on yourself. Basically what that means is you are making decisions based on what you think you should do, or what other people want you to do, or where you think you're going to have approval or validation from somebody else. So you make the decisions based on what you think you should do versus what you really want to do, or what's really driving your spirit or your heart. So stop shoulding on yourself and make decisions that feel more in alignment with who you are and what you actually want to do. The third thing I want you to do is, if it's possible, before you make a decision, sleep on it. So often we feel that we need to give an answer right away, especially if we're face to face with someone. We feel that, I have to just give them an answer. And more often than not, we give an answer that we then later regret. So if it's possible, even just say, you know what, I got to check my schedule, or let me just mull it over a little bit and I'll get back to you in an hour, or I'll get back to you tomorrow. That way you have time to walk away and really just assess the situation, see if you really want to do it or not. Is it a should? Are you making the decision out of fear? And you can just sort of process it. And then you can come back and feel much better about deciding because you know that it's not coming from a place of pressure. And the last tip I want to share is to really stop overthinking. When we analyze and analyze and analyze, we tend to overthink a situation. And then what we do is it just really stops us from moving forward. So instead of overthinking, what I want you to do is make a list of the pros and cons. What would it look like if you decided to do it this way? What would it look like if you didn't decide to do it this way? I know it seems like a really simplistic method, but it really works, and it helps you to get more clear and to process it and come from a place of really thinking about it from a healthy perspective instead of mulling it over again and again in your head. So these are the 4 different tips that I want you to implement to make a more informed decision and become more decisive. And either way, you're going to move forward, because if you decide to do something and then you realize, you know what, it didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to, then you'll have clarity about that. And you'll understand the next steps on how to move forward. If you like this video, please like it, please share it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and come on over to carlycoopercoaching.com. You can comment there. Feel free to reach out to me if you want help getting shift done in your life and business. I would be happy to have a complimentary call with you. So contact me. I look forward to reconnecting with you again. I wish you a healthy, happy, and abundant week ahead. Bye for now.